Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Betting Insights. I'm Timothy, of course. I'm joined by Sergio. Sergio, welcome.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the podcast.
Yes, smash the like button, and also if you're new to the show, be sure to subscribe. We are giving out picks for 5 different club competitions across Europe: Serie A, La Liga, Bundesliga, Eredivisie, and the Premier League. Now we are doing this every match day of the competitions. So this week we are starting with La Liga, and the first game on the schedule is Valladolid hosting Villarreal. Valladolid wins set at 3.7. Villarreal wins set at 2.06. Line for total goals set at 2.5. Now, I dislike Villarreal in this spot. Valladolid is not good, not at all. Actually, they have the worst defense in La Liga, 21 goals allowed, while Villarreal is the third highest scoring team in La Liga. So I don't think Valladolid will be able to keep up with Villarreal, at least in terms of scoring goals. So I like Villarreal this spot. Also, I like Villarreal to score more than one goal, over 1.5 goals, set at 1.82. Both are good value. Sergio, what are you doing here?
Yeah, I don't understand why the odds are that high for Villarreal. They are like fourth in the competition or something, and Valladolid is 18th. So yeah, I think this one is a no-brainer. Just go for a Villarreal win at 2.06. That's a great odd.
Yeah, all right, we agree there. Now, next up, Rayo Vallecano hosting Alaves. Rayo wins set at 2.12. Alaves wins set at 3.95. Line for total goal set at 2.5, but over 2.5 set at 2.5, under 2.5 set at 1.53. So not expecting a lot of goals, and neither am I. Not really looking to do anything here. I just have a slight lean towards Rayo because they're playing at home. Alaves, 4 straight losses, not in good form at all. Failed to score in 2 of those games. Even lost to Real Valladolid last time out 3-2. So, they didn't look great in that game against a bad team. So you just have to lean towards Rayo. But Rayo's not a great team, so not really comfortable putting my money on Rayo. Or are you doing something here?
Yeah, like you said, slightly towards Rayo. The last time the away team won when these two play each other was 2019. So the last 4 games, the home team always won, and less goals scored than 2.5. So yeah, I think Rayo is the lean here. So I think you're right. The stats agree, so I would also go for Rayo, but only a lean.
Yeah. Oh, really, just a lean. All right, next up, Las Palmas hosting Girona. Las Palmas wins set at 3. Girona wins set at 2.45. Line for total goals set at 2.5. Now, Girona, a very different team than last season, especially on the road. Now, last season they were not great on the road. Now they're even worse. Just one win against a lowly Sevilla, a 2-0 win. The other games are just god awful. Even lost to Valencia, um, draw against Real Betis, a draw against Celta. So they look very different on the road. But Las Palmas, not good at home at all. No wins at home. So what are we looking at here?
Um, Looking at Girona, I think this is the second easiest win for them away. I think so. So yeah, I think it's the same situation like with Valladolid against Villarreal. I think Girona is also going to win this one.
Yeah, like I said, Girona, not good on the road, but if you're gonna win road games, which they want to, and get back into the top 10, I don't maybe try to get into the top 5. That would be very difficult, but at least get into the top 10. You're gonna have to win some away games, and this is one you just have to win. So I also like Girona. I'm looking more at the over 2.5 goals because I do think Las Palmas will score a goal. They average over a goal a game. I think like only one game this season they have been kept scoreless. sorry, 2 games this season. They have been kept scoreless, so I believe they can score a goal here. And if Girona wins, we should see the over 2.5. So that would be my play here. All right. Next up, Real Madrid hosting Barcelona. Real Madrid wins set at 1.98. Barcelona wins set at 3.45. Line for total goals set at 3.5. Now, just a wild game in the Champions League. Real Madrid coming back from down 0-2 against Dortmund, just scoring 5 goals in the second half. Just absolutely crazy. But Barcelona also a great performance against Bayern Munich. Actually, they were pretty dominant in that game. And I know Real Madrid has the better squad.
Actually,
They were pretty dominant. They just dominated Bayern Munich. Yeah. And I know Real Madrid has the better squad, top to bottom, just better players. But Barcelona looks like the better team. So I'm not sure I agree with this line. Like, where are you going here?
uh, it's a long time since Barcelona won in Bernabeu, so um, I would um, I would just go for a Real Madrid win here. I think they're playing at home. Is the biggest advantage they have at the moment, and of course with the performance against Dortmund, I think the squad gained a little bit more confidence, and not so sure about Mbappe yet. So Real Madrid, yeah, they're playing at home, so I would just go for a Real win.
Yeah, the home advantage, I agree with you there. But Real Madrid, a lot of games this season, at home, not so much, on the road a little bit more. They just kind of put themselves behind the sticks and they just have to climb out of a hole. And if they do that here against Barcelona, it would be very difficult. So that's one reason I'm kind of hesitating. But other than that, I kind of agree with everything you're saying. The home advantage should be huge. Like I said, I still think they have the better squad. So Real Madrid would be the play. Um, but listen, man, Barcelona, they are playing very, very well just as a team. So this is not a best bet for me.
Uh,
Just saying that. All right. Next up, Leganes hosting Celta. Leganes win set at 3.35. Celta win set at 2.35. Line for total goal set at 2.5. Now, this is another line I don't really understand. Celta over 2, like 2.35. That's just this great value. Leganes is not a great team. Just one win on the season against Real Valladolid, and we already spoke about Real Valladolid earlier. Obviously not a great team. Celta not great, but at least Celta can score goals, right? They've scored 17 goals this season, while Leganes has scored just 6 in 10 games. So just over 0.5 goals a game. So I don't think Leganes will be able to keep up with Celta's goal scoring here. Celta should win this game. Give me Celta for a win. What are you doing here?
yeah, yeah. I agree. I agree with you. Celta at 2.35. That's a crazy odd for this game. So I would definitely go for Celta.
All right. Next up, Getafe hosting Valencia. Getafe wins set at 2.2. Valencia wins set at 4. Line for total goals over 1.5. Like 1.5, very low. And listen, man, that's just it. I understand the line. Let me say that. Getafe 7 goals scored. Valencia also 7 goals scored. So Getafe will have a defensive approach. Valencia seemed like they can't even score goals when they try to. So we shouldn't see a lot of goals. I'm not sure where both of these teams are just at yet. At least Getafe has a little bit better defense, 8 goals allowed, while Valencia has allowed 16 goals. And given they're at home, I think I have to go for Getafe, but it's just a lean because not really impressed with either of these teams so far this season. Are you doing something here?
No, I think it will just be a draw. I think I'm not gonna do anything this game. But Valencia, they're in serious trouble. Actually, they can really, really relegate or something. So yeah,
Okay, yeah,
they're
yeah.
in trouble. But yeah, maybe a Getafe win, but for me it looks like a draw.
All right. Like I said, I just have a slight lean towards Getafe. But they've been a little bit better and they're at home, so just a lean, but man, neither have been impressive. All right. Next up, Real Betis hosting Atletico Madrid. Betis wins set at 3.25. Atletico Madrid wins set at 2.43. Line for the goal set at 2.5. Now here I'm just gonna go with Atletico Madrid, and I don't have a lot of reasons to other than that they just have to start winning. I know they won last weekend against Leganes, but that's just a low Leganes. That was the only win in the last 5 games, so I have to trust them to bounce back because if you look at how Betis is playing, even picked up a draw against Copenhagen on Thursday. I know they won before that against Osasuna, but okay, that was also their first win in 4. So just gonna go with Madrid here because they're still the better team, and Betis seems to be in a little bit of trouble. So give me Athletic Madrid. Are you doing something here?
Yeah, but Betis was never a good team in the Champions League. All the times they played, yeah, they really disappointed. So, like you said, I would go for Atletico Madrid. Also, the last 6 games, just one draw. They played against each other. I mean, Real Betis and Atletico Madrid, the last 6, one draw, and Atletico Madrid won the rest. So, I would, uh, I would just keep that up and just go for an Atletico Madrid win.
Yeah, and you say Betis hasn't been great in Champions League, but this wasn't even the Champions League. This wasn't even Europa League. This is the freaking Conference League. So, like,
Yeah, okay. I mean, in Europe, then
like,
they
and
will.
against a team like Copenhagen at home, and they should have been desperate in that game because they haven't been performing great. So, the draw obviously not a great performance, and they also haven't been good in La Liga. Overall, just 2 wins in the last 8 games. So, we kind of agree. Atletico Madrid is the play here. All right. Next up, Real Sociedad hosting Osasuna. Sociedad wins set at 1.79. Osasuna wins set at 4.75. Line for total goals set at 2.5. Now, Sociedad, they've been playing well since the start of the season, but they had trouble scoring goals. So they were not winning games. Over the last 4 games, they've scored a goal at least once in every game. So it seems like actually the last 6 games, they've scored at least one goal. So it seems like they've kind of found their goal scoring form, and that also helps them because now you see 3 wins in the last 6 games. While Osasuna on the road, uh, not great. They haven't scored in 2 out of the last 4 road games. The other 2 just 1 goal. So if Sociedad can score here, they should win this game. So I'm gonna back Sociedad here. What are you doing?
Yeah, a little disappointed about last weekend. You know what Osasuna did, losing against Betis. I really thought they were gonna win that one, but
I told you to stay away
again,
from the game.
this weekend away game against Real Sociedad. No, I will. I'll just go for Real Sociedad. I was even looking at the over 2.5. Yeah, but yeah, looking at the last game. Yeah, it was over 2.5, but still, it was a friendly match. They played against each other. So the other ones were under 2.5. Mm. So no, I would just go for the Sociedad win. It's the easiest way to go.
All right. Next up, Mallorca hosting Athletic Bilbao. Mallorca wins set at 3.15. Bilbao will win set at 2.65. Lines for total goals again 1.5. Um, Also kind of agree with this line. Mallorca averaging just 1 goal a game, and they allow less than a goal a game. Bilbao coming off a Thursday game, also not great on the road. Even lost to Girona on the road, who's not great this season. Mallorca's been better overall this season. So I have a lean towards Mallorca. I think Mallorca should at least pick up a draw here. So double chance for Mallorca, probably the way to go. Are you doing something here?
Yeah, don't like Monday games that much, but this one is an interesting one. I would definitely just go for a Mallorca win. Go for a Mallorca win here. Yeah.
All right. Now that wraps up La Liga. Let's get to the Premier League. First game, Brighton hosting Wolves. Brighton wins set at 1.7. Wolves win set at 5. Line for total goal set at 2.5. Now, last week we were both on Manchester City beating Wolves, and they did in the end. But man, was that a tough game? Like just in the dying seconds, scoring the 2-1. So Wolves kind of a sneaky team because they haven't played well at all in any game. So you wouldn't expect them to win this game, but desperation calls. They're gonna win a game you might not expect or even pick up a draw, just like RKC did in the Eredivisie last week, just drawing against Twente was
Yeah.
just like crazy. So Brighton obviously is the better team, but I'm gonna stay away from this game because you never know when Wolves is gonna, win a game. But Brighton is obviously the better team, and if you're doing something, you just have to put your money on them, right?
Yeah, yes, of course, because yeah, Wolves. I think what they did against City. mm, I think it's hard to do for yeah 2 weekends in a row. I mean, for them, of course. Otherwise, they wouldn't stand that low if they could bring that up every weekend. So yeah, I would just go for a Brighton win, and eventually they're playing at home, so it should be easy to take that.
And they already played this season, the EFL Cup, a 3-2 win for Brighton. So the scoreline looks close, but it was just 3-1, and in the injury time, Wolves and scored another goal, so scoreline a little bit closer. But Brighton should win this game again. All right. Next up, City hosting Southampton. City wins set at 1.12. Southampton wins set at 26. Line for Zorgo set at 3.5. Just now, these are just the odds are just too low for me to think about doing anything. Are you doing something here?
Yeah, and even yeah the on the 3.5. Yeah, that's a little bit too risky. So yeah, I would just skip this game. I agree. Not very interesting odds.
All right. Next up, Brentford hosting Ipswich. Brentford wins set at 1.68. Ipswich wins set at 5. Line for total goals set at 2.5. Now, Brentford just a kind of an up and down team, especially on the road, but home form much better. Just one draw at home, the other were just wins. So Ipswich is just awful at home, even away. So I don't expect Ipswich to do much in this game. Give me Brentford. I'm gonna just take Brentford for a win. But Brentford defense not great. Ipswich also both teams have allowed 15 plus goals. So I expect goals in this game. So I'm also taking the over 2.5 here. And I like the over 2.5 more than just a Brentford win. Or are you doing something here?
Yeah, I think I agree, but my lean is less towards the over 2.5 and more towards the Brentford win because I think this will be a 1 or 2-0 win for Brentford. So yeah, at 1.68, I'm just going for the Brentford win.
I agree with you, but I do think where we disagree is on the total goals. Obviously, I do think Ipswich can score a goal. So,
Mm. Yeah.
but I do expect Brentford to win. All right. Next up, Aston Villa hosting Bournemouth. Villa wins set at 1.91. Bournemouth wins set at 4.1. Line for goal set at 2.5. Now, I know Bournemouth had a surprising win against Arsenal. It did kind of a depleted Arsenal last week.
Mhm.
And we kind of saw that coming. Like I said last week, I'm gonna wait to play on that game just to see who's lining up. I ended up not playing because a lot of guys were ruled out. So I know they picked up a good win, but going on the road at Villa, I think this is still a high odd for Villa. 1.91 at
Yeah,
Villa Park. This
yeah.
is kind of crazy. Are you doing something here?
Yeah, yeah, you can't let this one slide. So it's just going for the Aston Villa. Like you said, Bournemouth won uh, from
Uh,
Arsenal last weekend. So yeah, it's a no-brainer just
uh,
to go for Aston Villa because coming from a high away at Villa, no. I'm
yeah.
not saying they don't stand a chance, but it's gonna be fairly difficult.
Yeah, and Bournemouth, like I said, the game last week, kind of a one-off. The other two games they won this season against Southampton, okay, boo-hoo, who doesn't do that? And the other one was against Everton, who was also awful at that time, and they were even down 2-0, scored three goals in like 10 minutes, the last 10 minutes of the game. So Bournemouth's not that great. Villa's just an excellent home team. You just have to pick Villa in this spot.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, Everton hosting Fulham. Everton wins set at 2.8. Fulham wins set at 2.65. Line for total goal set at 2.5. Now, Everton, over the last four games, they've been better. Two wins, two draws. So just one loss over the last five games. Well, Fulham back-to-back losses. It's kind of really tough to know where Fulham is at because some games they just look great, other games just like, what are we watching here? Lost against Preston, North End, but beat Newcastle, gave City a run for their money. So overall, I still think they're a better team. So I have a lean towards Fulham here. Are you doing something?
No, I'm going for Fulham actually, with a little bit more confidence. They lost, two games in a row, so I would think that Everton, now they're playing at home, of course, yeah, but still, the two games they won, yeah, weren't against, impressive teams. So I would um I would just go for a Fulham win, especially because they lost two in a row. I think this one is a bounce back for them.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. I had it as a lean, but you kind of convinced me to put this as a bet. I'm gonna take Fulham. All right. Next up, West Ham hosting Manchester United. West Ham wins set at 2.95. United wins set at 2.43. Line for total goals set at 2.5. Now, two teams that just can't win games. Both have one win in the last five games against not so great teams. West Ham at home against Ipswich, United at home against Brentford. Um, I keep waiting for West Ham to turn things around. Last week, we kind of predicted it would be a close game. A derby against Tottenham wasn't close at all. They kind of got their teeth kicked in,
Yeah,
4-1. So I still trust the coach from West Ham, but this man, it's tough to back them with what I've seen this season. But United, how can you have confidence in United? Where are you going here?
yeah. For West Ham, of course, they're playing at home, playing against United. So, like you said, West Ham they need a win, and for them, Manchester United is their biggest chance. And United usually have a lot of trouble winning from London teams. So West Ham, difficult one over the years, always for the United. I think last season they won, but yeah, they were playing at home. Um, so yeah, I would usually the home team wins actually. So
Yes, if you look at the history, usually.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So I would just go for the West Ham win again.
Yeah, United also coming off a road game on Thursday against Fenerbahce, where they also did not look great, but they haven't looked great in any game really this season. And we keep asking the question, if United loses, will this be the end of Ten Hag?
But it's just not happening.
Yeah, not happening. Um, all right. I'm not sure where I'm at this game yet, but I'm leaning towards West Ham. I'm leaning towards West Ham. Like I said, they haven't been great this season. Like the only reason to pick West Ham here is, like you said, they will be up for this game, kind of smelling blood and knowing like, okay, this is a chance to win
Yeah,
a game because United obviously not in great form.
yeah.
All right. Next up, Crystal Palace hosting Tottenham. Palace win set at 4.2. Tottenham win set at 1.87. Line for total goals set at 2.5. Also kind of a very high odd for Tottenham, 1.87. I know they're on the road, also coming off a Thursday game, but Palace has scored one goal over the last four games, lost three straight. I don't know how they troubled Tottenham here. Tottenham obviously not a great road team, but this man against a team like Palace, they should win this game, right?
Yeah, I agree. And Tottenham, okay, they played during the week. I think it was Thursday. Yeah, played against AZ. Not a too difficult game, I would say, and they were playing at home. So yeah, I would also just go for the Tottenham win. Yeah, no confidence in Crystal Palace at all. So
Yeah, they've scored five goals total over the season. And one thing we know from Tottenham, if you're gonna beat them, you're gonna have to score goals. And I just don't trust Palace to score goals. All right. Next up, Chelsea hosting Newcastle United. Chelsea wins set at 1.79. Newcastle wins set at 4.25. Line for total goals set at 3.5. Now, Chelsea much better off late. Only lost to Liverpool 2-1. And Liverpool's just great, as we've been seeing this season. While Newcastle, they have to pick up wins again, especially in the Premier League. The last game they won was against Wolverhampton. That was like September 15th. So it's really been a long time since they won a Premier League game. But going on the road at Chelsea, kind of a tough spot. Only thing that concerns me was Chelsea also played a road game on Thursday. Wasn't a difficult game, but still, which way are you going here?
yeah, still have to go for Chelsea because Newcastle, yeah, disappointing. And also last weekend, really thought they were gonna, play a better game against Brighton. Didn't happen. Now away against Chelsea, very good the last weeks. So yeah, I would just go for the Chelsea win also.
All right. Next up, Arsenal hosting Liverpool. Arsenal wins set at 2.5. Liverpool wins set at 3.05. Line for sort of goals set at 2.5. Now, Arsenal getting some players back, but Odegaard, Saliba still ruled out. Saka questionable, Timber also questionable. Now Liverpool, two players ruled out, Allison and Elliott, and three still questionable, Bradley, Chiesa, and Jota. But no, doesn't matter who's lining up for Liverpool, they seem to find a way to win games. And obviously, Arsenal also a great team. Both teams have scored the same amount of goals, but Liverpool just a slightly better defense, but also playing a little bit better. So even going on the road, I still like Liverpool. Not sure they win this game, but they should at least get a draw. And if you take Liverpool plus 0.5, you still get a good odd. So that would be my play here. Are you doing something?
Yeah, I would. I'm just going for a Liverpool win actually, and the over 2.5 also an option because I definitely think there will be maybe 3 or 4 goals scored this game because they both score a lot and they both have players that can definitely score more than 1 goal a game. So yeah, I would just go for a Liverpool win and maybe the over 2.5.
But it does seem like scoring against Liverpool's a little bit difficult this season.
Yeah, yeah, it's difficult, but yeah, if one team can score against Liverpool, then it's Arsenal. So
All right. Do we still have a game in the Premier League?
no, I don't think so.
All right.
That was the last one.
That wraps up the Premier League. Let's get to the Bundesliga. First game, Stuttgart hosting Kiel. Stuttgart wins set at 1.24. Kiel wins set at 11.5. Line total goal set at 3.5. Well, Stuttgart did something that many people thought was impossible, going on the road against Juve in the Champions League and winning. Just a great performance. Well, Kiel they now I know they have an impressive result, not even a win, an impressive result, a draw against Bayer Leverkusen, but that was kind of a one-off. Stuttgart at home haven't won in a while in the Bundesliga, and the odds kind of speak to themselves. Stuttgart should win this game, but over 3.5. Are you looking at that?
No, no, I don't think so. I'll just go for the. I think, yeah, they played against Juventus also, like you said, um, during the week, Stuttgart away game, and so I would think that they'll just go for a easy 2 or maybe 3-0, maybe, but I don't think it will be more than that. So just a Stuttgart win, but I'm not gonna bet this game.
All right. Next up, St. Pauli hosting Wolfsburg. St. Pauli wins set at 2.65. Wolfsburg wins set at 2.7. Line for total goal set at 2.5. Now, this odd also really caught my eye. Wolfsburg 2.7. I know they're on the road. I know they're coming off a bad loss against Werder Bremen. So going on the road, not sure how many confidence they have, but how much confidence they have. But St. Pauli only one win against Freiburg, and you can see that game was just a one-off. They've been god awful in the other games, so I'm leaning toward Wolfsburg here. Wolfsburg, other than the game against Werder Bremen, they only lost to Leverkusen, good team. Frankfurt, good team. Bayern Munich, also a good team. So I still think Wolfsburg's a little bit better, and even though they're on the road, I'll think I'll back them here. Are you doing something?
Yeah, I think it's worth to try, Wolfsburg. Yeah, but still, yeah, it's a bit too risky for me. I would maybe just see this game as a draw. Yeah, I'm not gonna play this one also. So Wolfsburg, I hope it's just a lead.
All right. Yeah, I agree. Just a lead. Next up, Leipzig hosting Freiburg. Leipzig wins set at 1.75. Freiburg wins set at 4.6. Line for total goals set at 2.5. Now, this is a game where I just have to take the over 2.5 goals. Leipzig been shut out against Liverpool during the week. Freiburg, very good. Both teams can score goals, score over one goal a game, actually in a 1.5. So I know Leipzig has a good defense, only 2 goals allowed, but Freiburg can score goals. I also think Leipzig will win this game, but I'm playing the over 2.5. What are you doing here?
I think I'll just go for Leipzig at 1.76. Yeah, that's a good odd. Leipzig against Liverpool, of course, difficult game, but hey, um, there aren't a lot of teams this season that can beat Liverpool. I think so. Um, I'll just go for the Leipzig win.
All right. Next up, Augsburg hosting Dortmund. Augsburg wins set at 3.8. Dortmund wins set at 1.9. Line for total goal set at 3.5. Now, another odd which seems high for Dortmund, 1.9 against a team like Augsburg. But how much confidence should Dortmund have getting their teeth kicked in the second half by Real Madrid? I know you kind of look at Real Madrid like, oh, they're a great team, but 5 goals in one half, still a lot, man. Just has to do something with your confidence. Are you backing Dortmund here?
Yeah, it's Bernabeu magic, you can say. So I don't think that the players, will take it that hard because
But
it's
they did look
still Real
depleted at
Madrid.
the end of the game. They kind of look defeated at the end of the game. They you
Of
saw the
course.
look on their faces. You're like,
Yes,
damn,
yes, of
like.
course. Of course, you'd be disappointed also if thought you can win in a Bernabeu because I think at the beginning of the match I'm sure they didn't expect to be 2 goals up. So so I would just go for the Dortmund win here. I think that they'll just bounce back. It wasn't that they lost against Copenhagen or something like on that way. So I would just go for the Dortmund win.
All right. I think I'm backing them. Won't make it a best bet. All right. Next up, Werder Bremen hosting Leverkusen. Werder Bremen wins set at 6. Leverkusen wins set at 1.5. Lines for the solo goals set at 3.5. Now, Leverkusen kind of been up and down this season, but still only one loss against Leipzig. So, against a team like Werder Bremen, even though they're on the road, also coming off a road game midweek, still think they will win this game. This should be a win for Leverkusen. Are you doing something here?
Yeah, win for Leverkusen. I agree, but maybe a little too low. I would. We look at the over 3.5. That's a possibility. I think. The last three games they played against each other. They had three or more goals scored. So I would definitely look at the over 3.5.
All right. Next up, Bochum hosting Bayern Munich. Bochum wins set at 16. Bayern Munich wins set at 1.15. Line for total goals 3.5. Now, another game. Odds are just too low to put your money on. Bayern Munich should be looking to bounce back after the defeat against Bayern Munich. So, not doing anything here. Are you doing something?
Yeah. Their defeat against Barcelona was I think had a little something on the team. So I would against Bochum is just the team for them to really bounce back and score a little bit more. So the over uh, 3.5, 1.62, maybe just a little bit too low. So yeah, they'll win, but yeah, not an interesting game to bet.
All right, next up, Union hosting Frankfurt. Union wins set at 2.7. Frankfurt wins set at also 2.7. So kind of a pick 'em. Line total goes 2.5. Now the odds are very high for Frankfurt, and they kind of tell you like these teams are kind of Frankfurt's a little bit better, but when you're playing at home, makes this kind of a pick 'em. But I'm gonna back Frankfurt in the spot. I think Frankfurt's the better team. Frankfurt only lost two games this season. Match day one against Dortmund at Dortmund, which we know is a tough place to play, and then they lost against Leverkusen. Other than that, they've looked very, very good. While Union, I know they've looked better than last season, but if I look at the teams they've played against, not that impressive. Okay, maybe the win against Dortmund, also kind of a I wouldn't say a one-off, but they were kind of lucky in that game, I would say, or fortunate. So I think Frankfurt's the better team here. They play during the week, but they play at home, so no travel. I'm gonna back Frankfurt in this spot. Are you doing something?
Yeah, I'm going to disagree. I I'm going for the Union win. They're playing at home, and Frankfurt played during the week, so over 2.5. Also interesting because I really think both teams are going to score. So you can even try both teams to score, bet Union win, but I'm just going for a Union win here.
I'm gonna back Frankfurt. Frankfurt has scored over 2 goals, and they average over 2 goals a game, while Union just over one. So not sure Union will keep up with Frankfurt here. Give me Frankfurt for a win. All right, next up, Heidenheim hosting Hoffenheim. Heidenheim wins set at 2.28. Hoffenheim wins set at 3.1. Line for total goals set at 3.5. Now, both teams coming off a midweek matchup. One plays in the Conference League, one in Europa League. Hoffenheim, not great this season. Finally picked up a good win against Bochum, but that was at home and also against Bochum. Not sure they can repeat that here going on the road against Heidenheim. I'm kind of staying away from this game because I still don't really trust Heidenheim, even at home. Last two home games in the Bundesliga, they haven't scored. No, I know some good opponents, Freiburg and Leipzig, but still not scored in two home games. Are you doing something here?
Yeah, it's still it really doesn't sound real still. Yeah? Heidenheim playing in Europe. Yeah, but still, yeah, Heidenheim. I would still go for Heidenheim. this game. Yeah, I think Heidenheim, or maybe a little yeah better form than Hoffenheim at the moment. So I would just go for the Heidenheim win. Stay away from the over 3.5, of course, but Heidenheim win for me.
All right. That wraps up with the Bundesliga. Let's get to Serie A. First game, Napoli hosting Lecce. Napoli wins set at 1.34. Lecce wins set at 10. Line for total goal set at 2.5. Now, two bets last week I was just, I wouldn't say completely off on, but I missed on them. I had Napoli over 1.5 goals, and of course, they only scored one goal. I had Lecce, Fiorentina, both teams to score. Fiorentina scored six, and Lecce can even score one goal. But that's kind of been the trend for Lecce. They have trouble scoring goals. They haven't scored in the last four games. That drought should end sooner or later. Not sure it will end in this game, but Napoli at home, I do believe Napoli will score more than once, even more than twice. So give me the over 2.5 at 1.76. What are you doing here?
Yeah, I agree. Um, Not really something to add. Over 2.5. That were the odds I was looking at also.
Yeah. And like I said, Napoli only one goal against Empoli, but a very good defensive Empoli, only allowing five goals so far this season, while Lecce has allowed 18. So over 2.5, obviously the play here. All right. The next game would be Bologna against AC Milan, but that match got postponed. Let's get to Atalanta hosting Hellas Verona. Atalanta wins set at 1.38. Verona wins set at 8.5. Line for total goals set at 2.5. Another game where I'm just looking at the over 2.5, kind of low odds, so um, not going too heavy. But the over 2.5 is definitely the play here. Atalanta has scored 18 goals already in the Serie A, the highest scoring team in the Serie A. Yes, even more than Inter. Verona also a team that can score 12 goals in 8 games, so 1.5 goals a game. And both teams, not a great defense, 13 goals allowed, 15 goals allowed. So we should see the over 2.5 goals kind of easily. And that's also why the odds a little bit low. Are you doing something here?
Yeah, no, I'm not doing anything this game. I'm gonna skip this one. Too low win for Atalanta, yes, of course, but yeah, mm, not much to gain there, and also over 2.5, 1.47, a little bit too low. So
What should give you a good odd is Atalanta wins and both teams to score.
yes, it should, but Hellas Verona scoring is also a problem.
All right. Next up, Parma hosting Empoli. Parma wins set at 2.18. Empoli wins set at 3.45. Line total goals set at 2.5. Now, this odd kind of looks a little bit crazy. Empoli, very good this season, even giving the top teams some trouble. So I know they're on the road here, but 3.45, kind of high, especially against a team that defends very well. I'm not sure how much Parma will score in this game. So give me the under 2.5 goals in this game. I don't think there will be scored a lot. Empoli just has a very defensive approach to basically every game. Are you doing something here?
Yeah, no, under 2.5, but I'm leaning towards Empoli to win this game. Yeah, just it's just a lean, just gut feeling I have, but I'm leaning towards Empoli to win this one. Parma, they defend very well, but Empoli, if you know score one goal and they're winning the game. So yeah, for me, Empoli is the better team. It's just a lean, just a feeling. So
All right.
uh, I think I'll play Empoli.
All right, next up, Monza hosting Venezia. Monza wins set at 2.2. Venezia wins set at 3.65. Line for Zorgo set at 2.5. Not a game I'm doing anything in. Monza, one goal a game. Venezia just five goals scored in 8 games. I don't think this will be a very interesting game. I'm skipping this one. Are you doing something?
Yeah, I agree. Maybe Kodak score 0-0, but I'm gonna skip this one also.
All right. Next up, Lazio hosting Genoa. Lazio win set at 1.54. Genoa win set at 6.4. Line return goal set at 2.5. Lazio also kind of in great form. I know they lost against Juve, but so Juve, tough place to play, also failed to score, but they bounced back good against Twente in the Europa League, and I think they should keep that up here, even though they win on the road. Now coming back home against a team like Genoa, just awful this season. Already 17 goals allowed. So we should also see the over 2.5 goals in this game. Are you doing something?
Yeah, that's the only odd actually I'm looking at also the over 2.5. Yeah, I don't know. It's still a little bit too risky seeing the last three games they played against each other are all just 1-0. So yeah, over 2.5. But other than that, not a interesting game to bet on.
All right, next up, Inter hosting Juve. Inter win set at 1.81. Juve win set at 5.25. Line for Torgo set at 2.5. Now, last week I said Inter still has the best squad top to bottom, but 5.25 is so high for Juve. It's just crazy high. If you take Juve at plus 0.5, you still get a great odd. It's just crazy. Like I said, I still think Inter's the better team, but this man 5.25 is kind of high, especially coming off a loss. They will want to bounce back here. I'm definitely taking Juve at plus money. Even I'm thinking about taking them just outright 5.25. Just what are you doing here?
Um, if Juve wins, there will be under 2.5 goals scored. But if they
Yeah, I
lose,
agree.
it'll be over 2.5. So I'm difficult one, but you can't just not look at Juventus, just ignore it. It's a football game. Everything can happen. So I would just go for just try Juventus actually, and and the over 2.5 also because at 2.28, yeah, that's also a lot. So I think one of them has to go.
Yeah, and only one
One of them
goal
has to go.
allowed for Juve this season. They're playing good defense, so but one goal is still crazy. One goal though for this season is still crazy. So over 2.5. I would think I'm also going to try that one.
Yeah, because yeah, it's a game to watch this weekend.
Yeah,
Very,
obviously,
very,
obviously.
very interesting game to watch. So yeah.
All right. Next up, Fiorentina hosting Roma. Fiorentina wins set at 2.7. Roma wins set at 3. Line for the goals 2.5. Now Fiorentina four straight wins, so really coming into form. But only one win out of those four was kind of against a good team. I'm not sure even AC Milan is a good team at this point. But call that a good win. Also, other three against TNS, Lecce, and St. Gallen. Probably you probably haven't heard of two of those teams. So still don't think Fiorentina is that great. And Roma, desperation is calling. They have to start picking up wins, especially in the league. Now the win against Kiev was a good start. They played at home while Fiorentina had to travel. So I like Roma in this spot. I'm gonna bet Roma. I don't think Fiorentina is that much better. So I think Roma has the advantage of not traveling during the week and still a little bit better. So even though they're on the road, give me Roma. What are you doing here?
Um, I disagree. I think for Fiorentina, confidence will have the upper hand here, and Roma not so much. And now they have to play an away game. The over 2.5 is also interesting. Um, I think that's definitely a possibility, but I'm going the other way. I'm going for a Fiorentina win.
If Fiorentina wins, I do believe we'll see the over 2.5 goals. I don't think Fiorentina is keeping Roma scoreless in this game. The under 2.5 if Roma wins because we see Roma just likes to defend, only 6 goals allowed, and when they score, they kind of lock things up at the back. Um, Now, last season, when they made the switch, the coaching switch, they were kind of high scoring, but this season not so much. So they still have some things to figure out, but I'm still gonna take Roma. All right, that wraps up Serie A. Let's get to the Eredivisie. First game, Fortuna hosting Groningen. Fortuna wins set at 2.17. Groningen wins set at 3.45. Lions with goals set at 2.5. Now, Groningen, don't know what's going on with them, but if you want to win a game again, I know it's on the road, but this is kind of a good chance, right?
Yeah, no, Groningen win. I'm I even want to bet my salary on this one. Yeah, yeah, they can't keep losing. It's impossible to start a season like that, and then it's just gone. They still have the same player, the same players, the same coach. So yeah, it has to come back somewhere, and I believe it will be against Fortuna. So yeah, I'm just going for the Groningen win.
All right, I have to agree with you here. All right, next up, PSV hosting Swallow. PSV wins set at 1.10. So not much to say about this game. Not doing anything. Total goal set at 4.5, which is just too rich for my blood. Not betting the over 4.5. Or are you doing something here?
Yeah, no, it's I know PSV didn't lose a match yet in the Eredivisie. They won 9. So yeah, it won't. It usually happens when you don't expect it. But this one is a little bit.
Shouldn't be this game.
Yeah,
It shouldn't be this game.
yeah. I would. Yeah, no. I would jump off a cliff if it's this one. So yeah, yeah. So
Uh,
yeah. So it's over 4.5. It's also possible. So yeah, but I would still go for the PSV win. No, over 4.5.
all right, next up, Breda hosting RKC. Breda wins set at 1.83. RKC wins set at 4.2. Line total goal set at 2.5. Now, like we didn't expect, RKC picked up a draw against Twente. Um, and with that draw, they finally have 1 point in the Eredivisie. While Breda sitting at ninth. And if I watch Breda play and I look at the results, it kind of still feels odd for them to sit in the top 10.
Mm,
So
yeah, yeah,
it's
because
crazy. It's really crazy. But two straight wins in the Eredivisie. I still don't think they're a good team.
no,
So not really comfortable betting them. And if I'm doing anything, I might just sprinkle something on RKC because they have to win a game at some point.
yeah.
And this is a great opponent to do that. What are you doing here?
Yeah, couldn't agree with you more. If you look at the last 2 games, RKC played, and even the last 3, they played against Ajax, they played against Utrecht, and they played against Twente. And in the last 2, they scored 2 goals each. So yeah, I would and against Ajax they also played very well. Ajax had a lot of trouble with the RKC. So I can see the progress. Um, Against Twente, they proved that they're a team capable of winning. So I would just go for the RKC win here also. And Breda, I'm not that convinced also about Breda. They won against Zwolle. Yeah, I think a lot of teams will do that also this season. So I would just go for the RKC win. I think this is the weekend they will turn the table.
All right. Yeah, just crazy high odds, so you don't have to put a lot of money on it, but you're just in a great odds. All right. Next up, Heerenveen hosting Sparta. Heerenveen wins set at 2.43. Sparta wins set at 2.95. Line for total goal set at 2.5. Now, Heerenveen, just a team that can't seem to buy anything on the road, but at home, still good. Haven't lost at home yet. Playing very well, but still, aside from the Breda game, they still have trouble scoring goals, even when they're playing at home. But Sparta kind of dug themselves a hole last week against Almere City. Came back in the end, picked up a draw 2-2. I still don't think Sparta is that good. They still have issues. Um, Only 2 wins on the season. Um, so I'm kind of leaning towards Heerenveen here, but I don't trust Heerenveen to score too many goals here. What are you doing here?
I think you should have a little bit more confidence this game. Heerenveen, I think they're in the same position as Groningen. I think Heerenveen is going to win this one. Sparta, like you said, not that great at all. For me, Sparta very disappointing, and even when they play at home. So I would just go for a Heerenveen win. I think against Sparta, is there maybe one of the chances to win a game at home this season. So I would just go for a Heerenveen win.
All right. Next up, Utrecht hosting Feyenoord. Utrecht wins set at 4.2. Feyenoord wins set at what 1.93. Line for total goals set at 2.5. Now we talked about Utrecht being fortunate in a lot of those games, winning in the end. But you have to give them credit, finding ways to win. Well, Feyenoord seem to have. Did they turn the table? 4 straight wins,
Yes.
even a 3-1 win against Benfica. Just crazy impressive. 8 goals scored over the last 2 games, even one against Twente. So I like Feyenoord here. Utrecht, they have to lose at some point, right? They just can't keep winning. Um, Feyenoord still has the better players. I know they're on the road, also coming off a midweek game, so that slightly concerns me. But um, you just feel if you watch the Utrecht games, you just feel like a loss is near, right?
Yes, yes, loss is definitely there. I think Feyenoord is gonna win this one. Find they found their way up, and you can see also the game they played against Benfica. They played very well, and Utrecht. I think they're more like the luck of the Irish at the moment. So yeah, I agree. Feyenoord win 1.92. Good on.
And there's also another thing that gives me some hesitation. It's Feyenoord Wednesday. They have a game. They're playing against Ajax. They're playing at home, but still, they might be looking ahead to that game. So that also gives me some trepidation.
No, no, because this game against Utrecht, they have to win because if they lose, there's a chance that Ajax will overtake them on the table. So Ajax will pass them on the table. So against Utrecht, it's a game they have to win also. So yeah, I would definitely go for Feyenoord and for the confidence, against Benfica and now Utrecht. Yeah, it's just a game they have to win. So I wouldn't look at that too much.
All right, but touching on that game because it's only one game in the Eredivisie. Feyenoord, of course, hosting Ajax. Obviously a top match in the Eredivisie. Which way are you going there?
Mm, I'm going for a Feyenoord win at home. Yeah, at home, Feyenoord. Feyenoord. The last few seasons, they seem to win their home games against Ajax. So yeah, I'm just going for a Feyenoord win.
Yeah, and if you look at Ajax, okay, 3-0 win against Karabakh, but Karabakh picked up in an early red card. If you watch the game against Heracles, they still have issues, especially defensively. So
Yeah.
all right, next up, Twente hosting Heracles. Twente wins set at 1.25. Heracles wins set at 12.5. Line for total goals 3.5. Now, also low odds, so not really looking to do much. If you want to parlay Twente with another team, you can. They're playing at home. They should win this game. Get the bad taste of the loss against Lazio out of their mouth, and Heracles just the perfect opponent. So, what are you doing here?
Yeah, and they should at least score 3 goals. So the over 3.5 is one to look at this game.
All right. Next up, Ajax hosting Willem II. Ajax wins set at 1.29. Willem II set at 11. Line for total goals again, 3.5. And if you watch Ajax games well, then I guess you have to take the over 3.5, right?
Yeah, over 3.5. And for the Ajax win, it's not that you don't get that much. So against Willem too, you should go for the over 3.5. I even think Willem too will score a goal. They seem to do so, playing against the bigger teams. So yeah, I would go for the over 3.5.
All right. Next up, AZ hosting Go Ahead Eagles. AZ wins set at 1.6. Go Ahead Eagles win set at 5.8. Line for total goals set at 2.5. I know the odd isn't high. It's sneaky good at 1.6, but AZ gonna make it one of my best bets of the weekend. They just have to bounce back. Was it now 5 straight losses? This is the perfect opponent at home to get a win. Give me AZ. I think I'm kind of going heavy on this game. Are you doing something?
Yes, yes, I agree. AZ, they haven't played that well, or yeah, that well. They lost five in a row, so 5 in a row. So the win has to come sooner or later. I think this is also one of the games you can bet your salary on. Yeah, they'll win this one. I think they don't have another choice than just winning, other than winning. So yeah,
All
AZ
right.
win.
We agree there. All right, that wraps up the Eredivisie and that wraps up all picks and leans for this weekend. Quick recap, best bets. I have AZ for a win, Atletico Madrid for a win, Celta Vigo for a win, Villarreal for a win, Napoli Lecce over 2.5, Leipzig Freiburg over 2.5, and I have one parlay, Stuttgart Leverkusen. Gonna parlay those two teams. Sergio, what do you got?
Yes, of course. I'll start at the end. I have Groningen for a win. Heerenveen, Feyenoord, the one against Utrecht, of course. And then I have Villarreal win, Girona win, Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid, and of course West Ham and Liverpool.
All right. Now that wraps up all picks and leads and also our best bets for the weekend. And like we always say, guys, bet smart, bet with your head, set your limits, and stay within your means. Have a great weekend, everybody.
Yes, have a great weekend.